Udutu is an online course authoring software. The lessons and courses that you create with Udutu can be moved into a separate CMS or LMS or can be deployed using one of Udutu's options. Udutu lessons started with an introduction to e-instruction clickers. If your instruction is so teacher-focused that you're putting your students to sleep, try using clickers in your classroom. The e-instruction clickers are fun for kids and easy to use, with simple buttons that allow students to join a class, go forward or backward in the lesson, input alphabetical or numeric answers on the keypad, and send their answer to your machine, giving you instant data that you can use to guide your instruction or to share with your students. When you put a clicker in your students' hands, you give them a way to be directly involved in your class. Clickers are great for a quick knowledge check, as a conversation starter on a new topic, to ask sensitive questions, or just to poll your students for their opinion. The information on this website will enable you to use clickers in your own classroom. After watching the introduction video, users click Continue to continue through the lesson. At each step, they're greeted by another silent flash video, and then are asked a quick question to test their knowledge of that video. When they get the question correct, they're taken on to the next step, which again includes a short flash tutorial and a quick question. When they get it incorrect, they're told to try again, and given an interactive version of the flash tutorials which lets them play that same tutorial over and over again until they feel they know the content. When they're ready, they can once again attempt to answer that quickie question to move on. At several points throughout the lesson, users are taken to a larger assessment, which tests their knowledge on several complicated sections put together. In both cases, this assessment involves labeling a picture taken from the lesson. If the user gets some of the answers right, but not all, they're told, "You're close, try again," and they have a chance to try the lesson over again right there. If the user misses everything, all 8 identifications, then they're sent back to the lesson for a review. They can again watch the video as many times as they need to, and then come back and attempt it again. When they get all 8 labels correct, then they're taken on to the next step. After the final steps, the lesson ends with a simple conclusion screen, which I hope to broaden in the future. I actually created this lesson with teachers in mind. Besides teaching students, I also get to teach a lot of technology workshops in our district for teachers and help create a technology website for our middle school, which offers tech tutorials and information about the tools we have. Since our school does own several sets of e-instruction clickers, this resource will help teachers who are trying to get familiar with the software. One great feature of Udutu is that it comes with built-in lesson scenarios that help you choose a template for your lesson that will pre-set up links, assessments, and lesson screens in a way that helps you create a well-navigated lesson. I chose the best practices scenario, which teaches information, offers a question, and sends the user to either the next step if they get the question correct or a review screen if they get the question wrong. I then added larger assessments in between. On my assessment types, I ended up choosing an 8-picture label assessment 2 different times. This was primarily because of the lesson I was doing. I'm trying to introduce teachers to a software that they really need to get into before they'll understand it. Some simple visual recognition of what different tools are and what different questions can be used will help teachers when they get into the program on their own. For teachers whose learners have access to Facebook, Udutu comes with great Facebook applications. One is Udutu Teach, which allows you to teach a lesson online, and the other is Udutu Learn, which allows you to take a lesson created in Udutu using your Facebook login. I put my project up on Udutu Teach and used that to administer my course. I then tried it out from the learner's point of view and invited people to try my class. As you can see in my user reports, I got about 10 people to take the class for me. What was great is that they were able to give me feedback on their experience. Since I set it up as a self-assessment quiz, you don't see that anyone completed the course. What really excited me about the idea of an LMS built right into Facebook is that it's relevant. It's right there where users are already logging in every day. It was easy for people who took my course to send a discussion thread to me right within Facebook that came to me on Udutu Teach. I've already been able to recommend my Udutu to a fellow teacher who emailed me today asking if I had a recommendation for something that she could use to create her own sort of walkthrough website. I was excited to share a preview of my own course and mention that my Udutu would be a great tool for her purposes.